Everyone hurries his life on and suffers from a yearning for the future and a weariness of the present. But he who bestows all of his time on his own needs, who plans out every day as if it were his last, neither longs for nor fears the morrow. How can you wonder your travels do you no good? When you carry yourself around with you, you are saddled with the very thing that drove you away. No man is good by chance. Virtue is something which must be learned. We are indeed apt to ascribe certain faults to the place or to the time, but those faults will follow us, no matter how we change our place. What then is good? The knowledge of things. What is evil? The lack of knowledge of things. Humanity is the quality which stops one being arrogant towards one's fellows, or being acrimonious. Any man, he says, who does not think that what he has is more than ample, is an unhappy man, even if he is the master of the whole world. And when the soul has yielded to pleasure, its functions and actions grow weak, and any undertaking comes from a nerveless and unsteady source. Believe me, if you consult philosophy, she will persuade you not to lit so long at your counting desk. No man has escaped paying the penalty for being born. There is but one chain holding us in fetters, and that is our love of life. From this state also will he flee. If I should attempt to enumerate them one by one, I should not find a single one which could tolerate the wise man, or which the wise man could tolerate. It is a small part of life we really live. Indeed, all the rest is not life, but merely time. If you look on wealth as a thing to be valued, your imaginary poverty will cause you torment. Let us take pleasure in what we have received and make no comparison. No man will ever be happy if tortured by the greater happiness of another. He will live ill who does not know how to die well. There is no great genius without a tincture of madness. Just as great and princely wealth is scattered in a moment when it comes into the hands of a bad owner, while wealth, however limited, if it is entrusted to a good guardian, increases by use, so our life is amply long for him who orders it properly. How silly then to imagine that the human mind, which is formed of the same elements as divine beings, objects to movement and change of abode, while the divine nature finds delight and even self-preservation in continual and very rapid change. I shall never be ashamed to go to a bad author for a good quotation. It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. It takes all of our life to learn how to live, and something that may surprise you more, it takes just as long to learn how to die. If I had not been admitted to these studies, it would not have been worth while to have been born. Sorrowers tend to avoid what they are most fond of and try to give vent to their grief. We are, therefore, seeking how the mind can follow a smooth and steady course, well disposed to itself, happily regarding its own condition, and with no interruption to this pleasure, but remaining in a state of peace with no ups and downs. That will be tranquility. A family formed by crime must be broken by more crime. An unpopular rule is never long maintained. If you look on wealth as a thing to be valued, you'll always fancy yourself to be short of the things you need to the extent to which you lag behind what others have. Love of bustle is not industry. If you live according to nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to opinion, you will never be rich. What progress, you ask, have I made? I have begun to be a friend to myself. that was indeed a great benefit. Such a person can never be alone. You may be sure that such a man is a friend to all mankind.